Hi, chat. Let me change the command quickly, actually. Now when I have some time, let me change the wording on that. New skip. First, let me head a 20 centimeter down. Second of all, a new barrier skip is found, Thank you so much, Bobby, for the 5 gifties. I really appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Okay, let's see if that works. Oops, it allows. That allows. Go. Anyways, hello everybody. Thank you so much, Bobby, for the 5 gifties. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Tibek, for the 3-month resub. Me when 5-minute time save. Me when 5-minute time save after losing 30 minutes getting to that point in the run. What? Anyways, hello everybody. Hello. Is there another new skip or same as yesterday? No, it's the same as yesterday. I'm sorry, there's not another new skip. Let me change. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Shank, for the 6-month result. Let me turn on my headset so I can hear these alerts. Thank you, Shank, for the 6-month result. I appreciate it. And thank you, Burglar, for the Prime Gaming 3 months. Thank you. The breaker in my room just tripped? Whoa. I've not had a breaker flip in quite a while. I think the last time my breaker flipped was when I almost electrocuted myself. Thank you, Klimtui. Thank you. Hello. Can't talk. Yeah, I had, I almost got electrocuted in my old apartment because, basically, I, unscrewed the light bulb in one of the ceiling lights, and when I did that, there are 2 screws that's supposed to hold it up to the ceiling, and one of them, just kind of fell out. And one of them just immediately kind of fell out. So I looked at it, and I was like, huh, I should put that screw back. But then I noticed that the screw was right next to the socket, right? And I thought back to some old YouTube videos I've seen about how American buildings usually, like, cheap out on a lot of things. And I looked at that, and I went, okay, this looks like a place where they would be so stupid that you can get electrocuted even though the screw is completely irrelevant from the socket. Like, even though the screw is just supposed to hold up the light bulb, because there's metal around it, I'm like, I wouldn't be shocked if they did the wiring so bad that the whole thing has a charge. So I basically was like, Maisie, I'm gonna put this in, and she was like, okay, and she was like, do you wanna turn off the breaker? And I was like, yeah. So I walked over, and then the whole breaker box did not have any labels in our old apartment. So I didn't know which one was the one. So I was like, okay, screw it. I'm just gonna screw it in. I mean, most likely, they weren't such big idiots that like, the whole thing that holds up a lamp is electrocuted. Like, there's no way they were that dumb when they're wired. But just to be safe, I'm gonna hold the very, very bottom of the screwdriver. So I grabbed the bottom of the screwdriver, I moved the screw up, and in the second I touch where I should screw the screw in, boom! All the electricity goes out, and I feel like, even though, because I was holding plastic, I didn't get all the electricity, because I was so close to it, I could literally feel my whole body. Just like, I could feel it in my body, which was scary. So, like, I didn't get electricity because I was holding the classic, but I was so close, I could feel it in my body, and I was like, holy shit. Dude, what did they do? Anyways, I screwed it up, and then I, flipped it back. But anyways, it was crazy to me that they would have wired it in such a way where literally, like, the screw that holds the lamp has current. That's crazy to me. That has to be some sort of, like, that must break some sort of, like, law. There's no way you are allowed to, like, build with that, like, that level of stupidity for an apartment. Seems to be up to code, exactly. I hope you're having fun. What was your opinion on the new Zelda game? I think it's really good. I think it's an 8 out of 10. I think it's one of the better 2D Zeldas for sure. How far in is the new skip? Well, the new skip is a new route. Like, the new time save is from the new route, which starts from 15 minutes in all the way up until Enter Helmrock for 30 minutes in. And then you do, like, new stuff for Endgame. Speaking of new stuff for Endgame, I want to look into a new, I want to look into a new thing that was, discovered. EJ figured out a better setup for, Puppet Cannon cutscene skip, so I want to test it out. He figured out a setup. It's still obviously a 2-frame window, but the setup might help us out a lot, so I want to check it out. Because it would allow us to do the faster out-of-bounds method instead of having to kill all the enemies, which would also be safer in terms of not risking dying. These frequent streams are doing wonders. I'm glad you guys are enjoying the content. Uh-oh. He can't see me. Oh my god, wait. Can he actually not? That's so funny. Wait, that's so funny. He actually couldn't see me. Okay, so, let's make a,
Must have been the wind.
Let's check out EJ's new setup here, shall we? Why did I join to Link side-eyeing like crazy? Oh, it was just sidling to get my position right. Okay, so basically, let's see. Okay, so
Poggy's chat, I am now a nice arrow.
you move it here, and then you target. And then, let's see, what frame did I need to buffer to again? Let me double check. What was the frame I needed to buffer to? Let me check. I think I'm going to try and, by the way, figure out this angle from here. Okay, so it's when his positioning is there. Okay, and then you select it. I need to get that timing down. I need to buy a lot. Oh, hold on. Let me get a bunch of rupees quickly. So here is what here's what EJ figured out, and I want to see if it's actually better or not. So here's the idea with the new setup, right? So let me explain, chat. So remember how, so for this new one to work, it's a 2-frame window. So you have to place the Tingle Bomb, and then you have to side hop, and then you have a 2-frame window to buy the Tingle Bomb, so you get exploded as you hit the loading zone for the skip to work, right? But the problem is that unlike the other method where we could buffer it, you can't buffer it, because if you pause and unpause with the Tingle Tuner, you can't buy it anymore. Listen. You're pressing the button, it's not buying. So if you pause and with the Tingle Tuner activated, then you have to like re-equip by doing pause and unpause for it to be active. But what EJ figured out was that the animation to open up the pause screen on the Tingle Tuner takes the same amount of time as unpausing in the real game. So the idea is that you would get a visual cue by basically, you would basically pause buffer the game during the side hop until you reach a certain frame. Then you will unpause the Game Boy Advanced and the game at the same frame. And then you just press B at the first possible time. But I need to figure out the actual timing for doing that. So let me test this now. Test this for a little bit before. But yeah, it's an idea to make it maybe a bit more consistent. I want to see if it actually does work. I want to see what the earliest time is you can do that. Oh, I'm out of rupees. It's kind of a scary timing. I'm not sure how well that's gonna work. Let's try it. Let's see if I can do it.
Today. Woo, let's go WW World Record Time.
Wait, is the camera going in because I'm... Uh-oh. I forgot to place the thing, too. Dude. Dude. Okay, let's see if I can get this. I forgot I have to keep holding the analog stick. Oh god, this is terrible. Oh god. Wait, what? What? Wait, did I get it? Nice! This might actually be a decent setup. It's really awkward to do, but... might just work. Okay. I thought that you couldn't be early on this timing, but this frame you can be early on. I'm a bit confused. Unless maybe I'm unpausing a frame early. I'm the Tingle Tuner. If I do this setup, I will be able to save another about minute compared to what I did in yesterday's runs. Because I was doing a slower, safer puppet cannon cutscene skip in yesterday's attempts.
You new skip hype.
Thank you, Crafty, for the 14 months. I appreciate it. Okay. Dude, I like this setup. This setup works great. I really like this setup. I mean, I'm sure I could choke it in a run, but like compared to what we had before, this is great. How do you even clip without bombs? You know what, Crafty? I'll show you. I haven't done it today anyway, so maybe it's a good warm-up. If I can get the knockback. Oh my goodness. Thank you. Missed the frame perfect timing, sorry. Missed the frame perfect timing, sorry. Dude, I can't time. Come on, bro. Are you trying to ask nicely? True. Can you let me do this frame perfectly? Please? Alright, let's see if it works. Please let me time this frame perfectly for Crafty Boss. But you know what? Let's try and be a Giga Chat. Let's try and do this unbuffered. This is practice. Why not? Since this is practice, let's try and time this unbuffered. It would be so much cooler. Oh god, wait, I just realized you have to redo this every time. But it would be so cool. Anyways. But anyways, yeah, Crafty Boss, if you go to the middle here, and you... Let me do the whole setup. Let me explain the whole setup. So basically how the new setup works is this, okay? So what was figured out was that if you're either in a roll or you've been walking for a while, and then you do a target slash... Or sorry, you do a sword slash... You technically have enough speed for a tiny bit of your sword animation of going forward, of clipping through the barrier. Because you need at least 35 units of speed, and that's because of the thickness of the wall, and you need to be able to make it through the whole thing in one frame. However, it hasn't been found before with the sword because it's so ridiculously precise. So like the positioning to get it to work. So the new setup is, you want to get a frame-perfect side hop out of this corner. So you do you basically, for the first part, if you look at the A button, do you see how, yeah, it's almost float value perfect, Crafty. I think you can understand why a computer simulation ran thousands of instances of Wind Waker to find this position. But anyways, if you look at my A button, if you do a frame perfect backflip, the text saying, hey, you can do an interaction doesn't appear on the screen. So if you look at my A button right now, okay, so look after this roll before I backflip. Okay, so you saw the text didn't come back for the A, so that's how you know that you did a frame perfect backflip. Apparently I can't do it. Then you turn around, do a target slash, remove your sword, ESS turn to the right. Then, when you're here, you want to do 2 rolls, dry rolls. Then for the third one, you need to hold out your shield because it makes you stop a little bit sooner, which makes you not walk as much forward. Then you target this barrier. Once you target this barrier, you wait, let the camera start zooming out, do a perfect turnaround, zoom in, go back out, let the camera start panning out, do a perfect turnaround again. Then you want to pause buffer until you hit the window like this. Then you cancel out, use your leaf, zoom back in, turn left, stop when you're here. Once you're here, you now zoom out with the camera, take out your sword, turn around, and we want to turn around to reset our animation frame. So now I'm going to pause, hold all the way up, and then I want to pause buffer until I can see the full bottom of Link's foot, which is this frame. Then you have to do a frame perfect B input out of the pause, which apparently I can't time. And if you time that right, you clip through. Anyways. Anyways, there was one more thing I wanted to test. So someone figured out a more consistent way to do the super zoom that we lost a minute to yesterday. Actually, wait, let's not be lazy. Before I test that quickly, before I start, I should probably get this at least one time. I'm kind of mad that I didn't get it, but, like, I'm supposed to be able to get this fast in a run, so hold on. Let me actually just make sure I, you know, can still do this. Wait, did I double target this wall? Pretty sure I did, but just in case. Oh, she pushed me. Move out of the way. All right. All right. What was the new thingy? Wait, what does that even mean? Oh, I get it now. So you do the exact same oh, okay. So you do the exact same setup as you do on the first storage. Oh, okay, hold on. Okay, hold on. I get it. So the idea is that once you do the bomb shop thingy, you connect the tingle tuner. Oh, that's so much better. Okay. Yeah, do you mean, like, yeah, if you mean, like, at high roll, it's really quiet, I agree. It's, like, awkwardly quiet over there. Wait, this actually would be a good time now when I'm in practice to test why sometimes I don't make it up the ledge. Can you just always grab that? Can I save a leaf? Can I save some magic by doing this? Ooh, wait a second. I might just do that. Oh, cool. Okay, so then we get storage here. We would store this text. And then we would do the same as the other setup. So we would go here. Frame early. Rip. What kind of discovery would it take to no longer need leaf in the run? I'm telling you right now, there's no way the leaf will ever be removed, because the leaf, without leaf, you would have to the leaf is like removing the leaf would require you to... You can't do trial skip, and you can't do light arrow skip, and you can't do puppet and cutscene skip. And you would have the much harder zombie hover at the end. I'm assuming my audio is fine because there's only one person who's saying that it's definitely loud. Okay, so the new setup is that you get half an air meter here, and then you go straight left. Because apparently you can just get an air refill by just going into the corner of this island here. Yeah, I obviously know you don't want to go this close, but where is the area fill taking place? I'm confused. Oh. Okay, so just this whole wall. Okay, so you just want to make sure you're really going against this wall. Let me go back to Windfall. Where are the little bit things for the screwdriver you gave me? What are you talking about, Maisie? Little bit things? Are you talking about the bits that are in the bottom of my screwdriver? You're talking about this, like, because you can grab the bottom and pull it out to get all my bits? The screwdriver sucks. You take that back. You take that back, ma'am. You take that back. You do not say that my LTT screwdriver sucks. It is the greatest screwdriver I've ever used. You take that back. It took me 50 minutes to find the right pieces because there isn't any instructions in here. Did you look in box 1, 2, and 3? They're probably just instructions in one of the 3 boxes. Okay. In case you're actually right and there isn't an instruction, which I don't know if I believe, you could just take it up on your phone. Why does Lincoln sound like a dad right now? I basically am. I'm a married man, dude. Speaking of furniture, have you seen the Udder plushies at IKEA? I don't know if I have. Yes, the dad and the kid, Udder. I did see that when I was at IKEA a few days ago. All right, I think I'm ready to do runs. I don't think there was anything else I needed to practice. Now that you're married, did you like going to Home Depot? I loved going to Home Depot before I was married. Home Depot is like one of my favorite stores to go to. There's nothing better than buying new tools to like have at home for when I need it. There's like nothing better. I love my tools. I love building stuff and fixing stuff. This is going to make a lot of people go, what the hell? Because this is probably the most anti-American thing I'm about to say. But I hate ever calling anyone for help unless I literally have to. Like, obviously, if it's like electrical or something like that, like that a professional needs to do, or plumbing, that's the one thing. But if I can do it myself, I refuse. So if there was anything that happened around the apartment that I could fix, I would never call the apartment to come and fix it. I would always do it myself. There is no way in hell that I would ever call the apartment complex to do anything. If there's anything that I can do, I'm like, nah. How is that un-American? That's super American. Dude, I talked to the guy that comes over. The guy, I remember I called him over, I think 2 times because our washer and dryer, I couldn't figure out how to fix our washer and dryer. I apologized to the maintenance guy because I had to call him over, and he said, dude, don't even worry about it. I have people calling me over to change light bulbs. Like, you don't understand how small things people call me over for to fix around the apartment. From what I understood when I talked to a lot of people didn't, like, a lot of people seem to have the mindset when I talk to a lot of my friends who are American, they basically come to this conclusion. It's kind of funny. It's not necessarily in theory that they hate the idea of fixing it themselves. It's more the idea of, I'm paying to live in an apartment, so why would I not have someone else do it? But even though I understand that logic, I don't follow it because I like doing my own stuff. So I'm doing it because I want to. If you're already renting to do everything for free, right? Yeah, but I want to do it myself. I would rather spend money to get the tools to do something myself than to call the guy. That's what I'm trying to say is the un-American thing. I'm not saying that doing stuff myself in a house is un-American. Some apartments don't allow you to do things yourself. You're absolutely right. Most apartments don't, including our lease. However, if you just make sure that what you're doing is done properly and right, they won't know. It's like the apartment thing might say that you're not allowed to change things, but I promise you there is a bazillion people out there who do what I do, which is the second they move in, they take their shitty ass shower head that was probably $5 for them, you unscrew that shit, you buy a good shower head from Amazon, you put that thing up there, you use the beautiful nice shower head while you're living in the apartment, and then the day before you move out, you untake on the nice shower head you've been using, and then you put on their shitty ass shower head that they gave you, and then bam. Like, I don't care if you're technically not supposed to do it. I ain't using their terrible shower head. I'm gonna have a nice shower. I don't care at all what they say. Jetty, I know you're making a joke, but I'm gonna purge that because that is not a good joke. Don't joke about that stuff ever again. Okay, anyways, I think I'm ready to do runs. Is there anything else I need to practice? I don't think so. I don't think there's anything else I need to practice. I have played Echoes of Wisdom, yes. You want to know how I bought a house in this economy? I'll tell you right now how I did it. Okay, here we go. It's a 2-step process. Here's how I bought a house in this economy. Step 1, I moved to Texas. That's the #1 major thing. Step 2, I decided that I was willing to take a 30-minute drive to get into the city. And then bam, cheap houses. That's literally it. That's all I did, all right? I agree. If I lived in any other place, like if I still lived in California, there was no way I could have gotten a house. But Texas, 30 minutes out, bam. It's immediate. It's cheap. Anyways, let's, how cheap? Out here, you can get a 3,000 square foot home for under $500,000. And if you're willing to go for like a 2,000 square foot home, they're around 250, 300,000. Just God bless Texas. All right. Nice. Okay. No, if you actually want to get a house, I'll tell you something right now. The main reason I was able to afford this and a legitimate advice is, at least in Texas, I can only speak for Texas, but all the companies right here are buying up a lot of land and trying to build a lot of new homes on the outside and outskirts of DFW. So because they want to motivate people to buy homes, they are offering set interest rates below market value. So right now, if you bought a new built home right here in the community I'm at, you get a guaranteed 3.5% interest rate, and a $10,000 discount on the house. So yeah, it's like a combination of it's cheaper and you can get locked in really cheap interest rates from the builders. So yeah, if I had to get like a market interest rate, there's no way. So yeah, that's how I'm able to like afford it, because I got a really low interest rate. I think I have a 5% interest rate because we got ours before they lowered it, the Fed. But yeah, got a 5% when the average was like 7.5. Okay. I'm trying to afford a home in California. If I still lived in California, I actually talked about this to Maisie. If I still lived in California, do you know what I would have done? I would have moved up to the mountains. I'm not even joking with you. If I had to stay in California, I would have moved straight out of any city whatsoever. But this is also because I work remotely, so I can do this. I understand you can't. But if I still had to live in California, I would have moved straight up, immediately, whoom, out of like basically like Southern California. I would have gone straight to like more northern where the mountains are and gotten a way cheaper home. All right, let's set up manual super swim. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, rocks. When I lived in California, we lived in Los Angeles. Our rent was $5,600 a month. So let's just say that there's a reason I only stayed there for about 7 months before I moved out. There's a reason I stayed for a very short amount of time, because my God, am I never, ever going back to California. Not only that, you're like both water and electricity is like super expensive. Water and electricity was like $1,000 a month. And grocery, everything was expensive. Groceries were more expensive. Fast food was more expensive. Dude, I was spending like literally, I was driving through my savings when I lived there. I was just going through my savings. I was not able to make enough to make up how much I was having to spend. I was out of there quick. It was putting so much stress on me. Like, in my opinion, the only reasons to live in California is either A, like, okay, moving there. Obviously, if you grew up there, it's different. If you have your family there, you're already there. You can't move away. That's different. But when it comes to the choice of moving to California, the only person I would recommend you to move to California for is if you can get a job that guarantees you to pay at least, like, $200,000. Like, I'm not kidding. Like, it might sound like, come on, Linkus, that's rich. No, trust me. If it's in LA, if you're making even like 100,000, you are gonna be like, it's gonna be tight. Like, I'm not over exaggerating. Like, unless you literally are getting like roommates in a very far away apartment, it's rough. I would not recommend people to move there unless you're really going to be guaranteed a really good job. $2K a month for New York City is actually really good. I have one friend who lives in New York, and I think he pays like $3,600, and he said he got a really good deal. Because I think he lives in Brooklyn. In the nicer part of Brooklyn. So he got like really lucky on his apartment. I live in LA and I live in a studio for 1.5K. It's pretty nice. Yeah, I know for sure. I know a few people who have a studio in LA and they can make it work. I think the thing that makes it rough for me would be that because A, I live with Maisie, and then B, I work from home. I don't know if any of you guys have tried this, and maybe you are already and you understand what I'm trying to say, but I can tell you someone who did this when I lived in Germany. I had my office in the same room that I slept in, and I'm telling you, it is one of the, like, most mentally draining things of all time. Like, waking up, eating, then sitting in a room for 8 hours working, and then after you're done with work, you sit in that same room to chill because, you know, you're chill by your computer. You don't have space for, like, a TV and a, you know, living room. And then afterwards, you go to bed in the same room. I'm telling you, I felt after doing that for a few months, like, so bad. Like, in the beginning, it was okay, but after a few months, I was like, oh my God, I need a separate room. So, for me, that would be bad. And also, Maisie, right? She works from home. So, because of that, in the last apartment, I had my own office, but Maisie had it in the bedroom, and she told me the same thing. She said that she didn't like that. She didn't feel like she had her own space. So, because of us working from home, we basically need a minimum of 3 bedrooms, right? To be happy. And once you hit 3 bedrooms in Los Angeles, you're looking at the biggest bill ever. I mean, my mortgage is like half. My mortgage, including my property tax and my home insurance, is half of what I paid in LA. Like, there is a 0% chance that I would ever choose LA again. Like, dude. No way. All right. Anyways, let's start this in 3, 2, 1, and go. I lived outside of Düsseldorf and Mülheim an der Ruhr. I don't know why I said it like that. I still had like a bit of cough in my throat. Sorry. Anyways. I said it with such a dark voice. Batman. Thank you so much, Umbra, for the 1 view raid. I appreciate it. Thank you. How's the current setup for the new skip? I think, Johnny, you called my chat dumb. You making fun of my work. You're making fun of LA. You seem like a negative person. I'm gonna ban you. All right. Let's see if we can do this. Oh, what was that side hop? Whee! Okay. Did I just hit neutral? I think I just hit neutral. I'm not going to waste my hands on this. I need to reset it up. Well, that's weird. Okay. So nowadays, all top runners actually do unbuffered, but not most people don't do fully unbuffered. Instead, it's like a partial unbuffered, like I used to do. So it's like you gain some of the speed from flicking the analog stick, but you still do the flannel part without it. I never played Hitman Blood Money. Will you ever do more Mario Party content? Do you guys really want more Mario Party content? Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. I only watched the webcam during manual Super Sims. Bryce, why would you tell me that? Oh no. Oh no. The new Mario Party is a lot of fun. You know what's really weird and funny? My dad called me yesterday, and I was like, hello? And he was like, I wanted to tell you something. And I was like, what's up? And he was like, I saw the stream of you and Maisie playing Mario Party. And I immediately went, oh God, did I say something stupid or embarrassing? Oh God, what is he gonna say now? And he was like, I think that was one of your better streams. Like, I think you and Maisie's personalities while playing Mario Party really fit well together. It was one of the better streams you've ever done. And I was like, oh, thanks. And he was like, you should do more of that. Thanks, Dad. If we can get some good runs going and I don't stream for too long for Wind Waker, maybe I can throw in one Mario Party game at the end of today's stream, but no promises. Maybe he just wants in on it, true. He would not stand a chance, though. He would be like the NPCs that like drive me nuts when they go into an item shop and they take like 10 years to decide what item to buy. Oh my goodness. Right, wow. Okay. I'm actually just gonna like straight up redo that. I think this is a good ESS. I just like didn't get in the corner. This is the first time I think in a week I've actually had a third tri-manual Super Swim, which is both really exciting and also a little bit sad. Okay. What part of Texas do you live in? I live in like North DFW. So, like, basically almost as much north as you can be. I guess except for the desert on the west, but no one lives there. Speaking of DFW, I'm considering driving up this weekend to buy a Camaro. Like the car? Or an animal? I got a little bit more speed than I needed, but that's fine. Convertible one? Nice. I really would love to buy a new car, but because I just got a house, it would be really nice to get a new car. This might come as a surprise to a lot of people, but I'm a huge, like, my dream world is going out for a drive every day. I just love going out for a drive. I don't have to go anywhere. I just love driving. Like, I genuinely love. If I have to drive for more than like 3-4 hours, but otherwise going out and just driving for an hour is fun. That's also why, believe it or not, this is gonna come, like, many people are gonna be like, bruh. But I mean this genuinely as someone who goes out sometimes during rush traffic. Like, if it's the worst city traffic ever, yes, I get a bit annoyed at it. But as long as it's not the worst traffic of all time where I feel like I'm going 1 mile an hour, even if it's traffic, I don't even mind commuting. Like, I don't mind the idea of commuting because I like driving. So, because I like driving, I don't really mind traffic. I don't mind driving around for fun. But yeah, because if you just got a house, I like just literally can't justify it. It feels like a very American decision to get a new car. So I'm not. I'm gonna wait at least a couple of years. Well, yeah, when I say a new car, I don't mean literally it has to be a new car as in, like, brand new. I mean just new as in, like, new for me. My go-to for trying to get the best deal out of a car, like, and maybe not the best deal, but how I am as a person, I should say. Obviously, it's not the best deal, but here's my ideal situation of buying a car. I don't like to buy really old cars because I'm too scared that it's going to run into problems, but I also think it's pointless to buy a brand new one. So I usually like to go for like a 2 or maybe like a 3-year-old model. That's like, if I can find a good 3-year-old model, it's like perfect for me. Because then I know I can own it for probably at least probably, 7 years without most likely running into any bad issues. And I didn't have to have so much of the value of the car going down immediately after I bought it. Because it's usually just the first few years that has like that really big appreciation. But yeah, I think the next car I'm going to buy is going to be like a really big full-size SUV. Because I really want to have a car that, this kind of sounds so stupid, but I really want a car that makes me like really high up, you know? I want a really big, high up car that's like wide. I want a big, just big car. And I want to also like get it before we have kids so that we have like a big car, once we have kids. So I want a big dad car, okay? That's it, okay? Make fun of me all you want, I don't care. I want a big dad car, okay? I want a big dad car. I don't care about no sports cars. I don't care about going fast. I want a big car. Sounds like someone is compensating for something. I am not. I am very, very average. I will have you know. Soccer mom van. No, I would never get a van. I would never get a van. Vans, it's not even that I think a van is like, oh, it's too girly. I don't care about any of that. I just literally told you I don't care about, like, manly cars. I just wouldn't want a van because, no offense to anyone, but it's just such a pain to park. I'm not even kidding. Like, just the size would drive me nuts because I live in, like, you know, I still live close to a city. And I'm telling you, like, yeah, a lot of parking spots are really big in Texas because everyone has trucks. But there's still a lot of places where, like, I mean, like, if you look, anytime someone comes in with a truck, they take up, like, 2 parking spots. So I just wouldn't want to have that big of a car because it, like... But an SUV isn't annoying to park. No. There's a difference in between having a car that's bigger so it's harder to park versus a car that is so big you can't fit it in the spot, okay? There's a big difference in between what I just said. The van don't fit in some spots. The bigger SUV, it'll fit. You just have to be better at parking. Big SUVs would not fit. In Texas, they would. Trust me. There's another thing, too. I would rather have more cargo space than 8 seats in a minivan. Because, like, what am I doing with 8 seats? I don't want to be the guy who always has to drive all the kids around anyways when my kids grow up. I might get caught because I just had an insanely early cycle. I'm a bit scared. Okay, thank God. Yeah, I agree. I don't think SUVs look bad. I wouldn't buy this car, but, like, if I had to put out, like, a list of a dream car, it would be, like, my dream car. If I had an infinite budget and I didn't have to worry about money, I would probably get, like, a Cadillac Escalade. That's, like, my dream car. I wouldn't buy it because... can't justify spending $100K on a car, but that's literally like my dream car. I know it's a super boring car. Everyone probably says a sports car of some kind, but if I could just get anything, that would get that. But yeah, I can't justify buying that car. It's too much money for that car. I could get something that is just as functional and almost as nice for half the price. I have a BMW X5 and it's perfect with 2 kids and a wife. Oh yeah, no, that's a really nice car for sure. BMW though, I don't know if you live in the US or in Europe, but I'm telling you something different in between the US and Europe, straight up. And I hope you're not part of this if you live in the US. I swear to God, please Americans back me up. For some reason, Americans who buy BMW always drive like absolute dicks. I have never met a kind BMW driver in America. I don't know why, but for some reason, the Americans who choose to buy a BMW just... I obviously understand, don't get me wrong, I've lived in Sweden my whole life. I know that there's BMW drivers in Sweden who drive like dicks, but it's not like everyone who drives a BMW is terrible in Sweden. But in America, it's like almost every time. It's like, bro. But I mean, it must just be the like, because I'm assuming a part of it is this, is like, in Europe, a BMW is just a standard car that most people get. You know, kind of like how in America, people just get a Ford. You know, you almost don't see any Fords in Europe, you know? So I guess because of that, it's not just people who really want the BMW that gets it. It's also a lot of normal people don't really care that it's a BMW. But in America, you go more out of your way to get a BMW, since it is a European car. So because of that, you go out of your way, and the people who go out of their way are probably so proud of having the BMW that they probably want to, you know, show off a bit more. They want to drive a bit faster. They want to drive a little bit more crazy, you know. That's my guess. Wait, are you saying that this is a universal thing? Are you saying that you never like BMW drivers, chat? Well, then I definitely hope that you, sir, in this chat right now who own the BMW... Actually, you know what? I bet he drives nice. Because he bought the BMW for his wife and his 2 kids. That doesn't sound like someone who bought a BMW to be cool and drive around like a dick. That sounds like a nice man who bought a nice family car for his family. I bet he's an exception. Thank you, Spleen, by the way, for the Prime Gaming sub, and Captain for the sub as well. And Adobo for the Prime Gaming 3 months. You know what I am scared about, though, for real? I hope Maisie isn't listening to this. I'm happy that I don't have to listen to Maisie stream car. Maisie is really strange about this. So she is a very, very... How to put this? Like... Does it make sense if I say simple person? Like, she doesn't like fancy stuff at all. Like, she has zero interest in brands, in fashion, like, stuff like... You know what I mean by that? Like, she doesn't care about spending any extra money on anything that is, like, a fancier brand. Anything like that, she doesn't care. Except for one thing, which is that she loves Porsches. She loves a Porsche. And... And it's like, I think it's so funny how like almost everything is like the most basic, cheap thing, doesn't care about any brand whatsoever. But when it comes to like a dream car, it's like, oh, a dream car, I would love for you to buy a Porsche. And I'm like, dude, whoa, what the hell? Don't get me wrong, I would love a Porsche, but they are way too expensive, man. I actually will say this straight up. I have started to dislike Toyota more after moving to the US. Because due to how the US worked with cars, in Sweden, I look at Toyota as reliable and affordable. In America, I no longer look at Toyotas as super affordable because I feel like what's happened in a lot of countries, and especially America, is that people know Toyotas are really reliable, so they have been able to increase their prices because so many people want them. So now they're no longer that affordable. Like, I mean, they're still affordable compared to a luxury car, but it's not like cheap anymore. So I feel like now I'm spending a lot of money to be able to say I got a Toyota, and it feels really weird to me as a Swede coming in there and being like, dude, what? You're telling me that like I'm getting a new RAV4 is gonna make me put me back like 50, 60K? What are you on about? That should be like a 30K car. Uh-oh. Frame late, that sucks. Let's try again. Dude. No, I think the thing that I've realized that makes me kind of go weird, champ, about the US that shocked me is that, I don't know if it's all states in America or most states in America, But what shocked me the most... Oh, come on. Back to back. Okay, I think this run might be dead. The thing that shocked me the most about America is that I literally can't buy a car straight from the dealer, straight from the manufacturer. I don't know why I am legally obligated to go through a dealership and give them a couple of thousands of dollars. That blows my mind. I get that I can do it, and I get a lot of people will, but I think it's absolutely BS that legally you cannot buy it straight from a manufacturer. I get that's part of it, is that, like, they want to save jobs, but, like, that's BS. Oh my god, 3 in a row? Okay, this run is dead, but let me make sure I get it one time before the next run. You have to do the King of Reliance one because you can't finish the text box on the door with all of them. For some reason, there's like different priorities with text boxes. I don't quite understand it myself, but yeah. Okay, got it the first try when my timer wasn't running. Cool. Okay, that seems about right. I click reset on the timer and it immediately just works. All right, well, let's do another run, I guess. Yeah, I will say I found this out literally when I was having a conversation with Frozen like a week and a half ago. But I had a more deep conversation with Frozen a week and a half ago. And one thing that like that I didn't know before that made me really sad was that and it felt like I was really sad going out of the conversation because I hadn't realized it, was that I was really sad to find out how much is a lie. Like how much of a not free market America is. It made me really sad when he broke down some things and I'm like, oh no. It was like a sad realization of like how much, theoretically speaking, not free market the free market is. I never realized that before, because it's all everyone ever talks about. And then I realized it's only a free market depending on the market. If it gets too big, it's no longer free. Anyways, let's do another run. Boop. But no, anyways. It was probably one of the saddest convos I had. I ended up getting teary-eyed towards the end of it because the conversation ended with me saying this. You must be wrong because there is no way that someone that is already that rich would screw over people that badly to make even more money. You must be wrong. There's other things you're forgetting. There's no way that someone who's already that rich would willingly do something that bad as raising prices that would screw over thousands of people. Because they already have enough money. And his response made me cry. Because I literally could not accept his response. I was like, there's no way that someone who's already that rich would actually purposely do that. There's no way. All right. Let's do it. Let's do another run. Let's do a sniffer because I think we got a really good PB one time from that file name. All right, 3, 2, 1, and go. I actually will say this. I fundamentally believe that it is, if someone is willing to put in the practice and the time, I think that it is more likely that an individual could get better at unbuffered manual super swim than buffered manual super swim. Hear me out and let me cook, okay? Let me explain. Even though everyone can always get better at it, even if someone is bad at something, you can always get better. However, pausa is fundamentally rhythm-based. And I'm sure if you've gone through life, you will know that some people just can't keep a beat. They can't keep a rhythm up. It's just something that some people just really can't do. You can practice to get better at it, but you will never be able to consistently well keep up a rhythm or a beat. And pausa is fundamentally that. You have to keep a frame-perfect rhythm for like 2 minutes straight. And that is like not just, oh, I can keep a rhythm. That is like, you are incredible at keeping up a rhythm, you know, like, right? So if you already really can't do rhythm-based stuff at all, then it's going to be insanely difficult for you to learn that. While on the other hand, yes, there is a fundamental physical aspect to doing unbuffered manual super swim. Give me a second. Oops. Even though I like how failed, most of my attempts haven't failed because I don't get enough speed. I'm like messing up the area fill. It's silly. Anyways, the thing about the unbuffered manual super swim though, hear me out, is that unbuffered manual super swim. 3, 2, 1, go. But anyways, the thing about unbuffered manual super swim is that it's about stamina, right? So it's still going to be hard to get good at it and learn it. But, you know, yes, everyone doesn't have, you know, the characteristics to be able to become a bodybuilder and become the biggest, you know, buffest individual ever. But most people can build up a stamina. Most people can go from I can't run a mile to I can run a mile. I'm not saying everyone can. I'm saying most people can build up a little bit of stamina. When it comes to unbuffered manual super swim, is it physical? Yes, but it's one muscle. It's not like you have to get really ripped. I mean, look at my arm. It's not like ripped. You just have to get a little bit of arm strength, and you have to build up your stamina a little bit with the arm. So I actually think that even though it will take you longer to get the stamina, if you really are someone who really can't do rhythms at all, like you just cannot do rhythm-based things, then it might actually be slightly easier for you to just learn unbuffered. But it will be a lot, obviously, to get it down. But like I said, it depends on the person. Some people will just have an easy time with the rhythms, and if you're one of the people like me who can just keep up a rhythm very easily, like that's not something you struggle with, then yeah, buffered, it will be awkward at first, but once you get that timing down, it's gonna be like, oh yeah. And then it's more of a mental barrier of, oh god, I've been doing it perfectly for a minute. Don't mess up the last minute, and then you mess it up. And then you guys push past that mental barrier eventually. Awesome. All right, I lost like 10 seconds hitting the beach there, but it's okay. We'll keep going.
Hey.
Dude, what? Dude, are you kidding me? No way. It's not dirt. One of the pixels on my monitor just died. Like where my B button normally is. It's not dirt on the monitor. What the hell? I noticed it because it's very obvious. It's very, very noticeable because it's like in the middle of where the B button is. On the HUD, and I'm trying to scratch with my finger. It's not like I just randomly got... It's not like I randomly just got like spit on it or something. It's just straight up... It's dead. Dude, I'm so distracted. Hold on. Can't stop looking at that dead pixel. Maybe it's just taking a little nap. Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! Dude, that's so silly and stupid. Trying to sleep, Linkus? Sorry. Hello? Get caught! Caught? Dude, what was that? Why did it take so long to get caught? What the hell? The Moblin was a manager, made someone else do the work. Oh no. Linkus, you know some places have less security than others. Yeah, but like I've been to that submarine before, you know? It's always popping.
No longer 69.
I remember when getting that cycle was hard. Trust me, Naku, with how many more crazy setups and frame perfect tricks this route has, I do not miss that fact that FF1 used to be harder. I'm okay with one single segment becoming easier when every other segment after it became harder. Wait, Unaku, do you still actually run Echo's Wisdom? If so, I have a question for you. You don't? Oh, wow. Then never mind. I wanted to ask you, are they starting to discuss intro skip yet? Or are we still, or, you know, that is everyone still waiting? Did you see that the game got patched? I did see that. Good luck, Linkus. You're doing amazing. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, this new route, if is it hard to perform the new skip? So the new skip itself, which is the barrier skip, it's slightly harder than the old one, but it's not technically like way too hard. The thing that makes the new skip hard is that to get the time save for the new skip, you have to skip getting bombs. And by skipping getting bombs, almost every segment in the run becomes harder. So Deku Leaf becomes harder because you have to do a door cancel strat. Enter Helmrock, it becomes harder because you have to do a frame perfect door cancel strat. FF2 is the same, thankfully. Barrier skip is just slightly harder because of the new strat, but it's not that bad. Light arrow skip is about the same difficulty. Puppet Cannon cutscene skip becomes way harder. Instead of being a really consistent free frame window trick that you can pause buffer, and if you miss the window, you can just try again. Puppet Cannon cutscene skip now becomes a 2-frame window. No way to fully pause buffer it. You have to time it, and you can't retry it. You have one try, you have one shot on it, and if you mess up, too early, too late, doesn't matter, run's dead. Which is, you know, 5 minutes before the end of the run. So most parts of the run became way harder thanks to it, but theoretically the new barrier skip itself stays not too bad. But all the other parts that is associated with skipping the bombs is kind of rough. The funny thing is, if it was a 2-frame window for a normal trick, it would be, like, better. The problem with it is that there isn't, like, a great visual. You kind of have to react. There is a somewhat of a new setup that gives you a half visual with the Tingle Tuner, but it's still kind of... Ugh. Is this the low percent WAKER with how few items you get? Thank you, Glitchymon. I appreciate it. I don't... Yeah, I don't see how you would be able to skip the Tingle Tuner, so I would probably say yes. think this is low percent. I don't see how you would get through this run without the Tingle Tuner. Use Zombie Hover without bombs by using Tingle Bombs. So you can buy bombs with the Tingle Tuner to get an explosion just like how you heal. But the reason it makes the skips more difficult is because there's a big difference in between having a bomb on the ground that you can press B to explode versus a physical object you hold in your hand that you can, you know, drop to clip through things and set things up, etc., and be able to take how much health you and damage you need. Anyways, let's hope I don't fail this frame perfect trick again. Pause, champ. Nice, got it. Oh, come on. Uh-oh. I might not make it up and hit the trigger. I hope that still counts as hitting the trigger. Oh, thank God. Okay. I didn't know if I got close enough to the platform to be considered to avoid out there. That was good. That was lucky, I should say. Okay, that's why I said, oh, because I dropped height. I didn't know I was going to make it. Okay. Basically right there by having door cancel, instead of zombie hovering while being dead, I'm basically doing a jump slash against the wall, and then my collision is making me land for a split second and then fall again. And that lets me like redo another jump slash, which lets me continuously do the equivalent of a zombie hover but while being alive. Because all the zombie hover really is, right, is being able to do jump slashes while in the air over and over again. And by having our jump slashes interrupted by landing and re-falling on that ledge over and over again with door cancel, we're basically getting a similar effect. Not exactly, obviously, but similar. Oh man, there's so many chews here on the right. I'm scared. Please clip out fast. Without bombs, this ledge is so bad to clip them out on. One more. Come on, one more. Come on. Come on. Come on, dude. Okay, sure. It might have been too late. 2, 3, 4, 6. What? Okay, that shoe must have had a crazy angle. I didn't look at the angle of him. He must have had a crazy angle because I side hopped late. But that was early. That sucks. I don't know why I'm having so much trouble with this, with the new route. It shouldn't be different. But for some reason, I keep not getting it. Dude, what? Ugh. I prefer GameCube over HD for sure. Yeah, pushing out the chews is trickier, but the side hop and the crush should be the same. Before I do another run, let me just do it like 3 times in a row on the practice run. Because I feel like I'm scared right now. I can tell how I'm thinking in my head right now. And I think if I don't do it right now, immediately 3 times in a row on the practice run, I'm going to overthink it when I do it on the run next time. Does that make sense? Like, I want to make sure I don't, like, overthink it in the run. You know what I could just do? Honestly, we could just add 1 pause in. If I just, like, add a pause in to, like, make sure I side up at the right time with a pause, I don't have to, like, try and kind of have a feel for it. Because it's not precise. It's a 21 frame window it should be. That's why I'm shocked that it's not working, so. If I could just probably just throw in a pause or two. Add like 4 or 5 seconds, but it will guarantee we don't lose runs to it. Might make it worth it, to be honest. Anyways, yeah, let's do this like 3 times in a row, and then let's do another run. Thank you, Adric, for the 2-month resub. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. And thank you, Miles, for the 70 months. No longer 69. Sad. That is sad. 30 FPS, that's a whole second to react. Yeah, but it's not actually a 21 frame window for the side hop because the window changes depending on what angle the chew is facing. So you just kind of try and aim for the middle of that and hope that it works. Does that make sense? This dresser sucks so bad, it's not even halfway... I'm not even halfway through the first one. Sorry, Bunny. You got this. All the screws suck and they keep strip... Whoa, 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 but Maisie. No, then you're using the wrong tip. You're using the wrong tip in the screwdriver. It should not keep stripping them out. If that's happening, no, then you're not using the right tip for the screwdriver. Oh, no. Maisie, have a screw ready that's not been screwed in yet, and I'll come look at it, okay? I'll come look at it in about 4 minutes, okay? Not necessary. Okay. Have you come? But can I come now then? Because I am not in a run. Okay. Can I just, like, do this to make him push out easier? Okay, I'm gonna do that from now on. Okay, so he's looking upright. I stand here. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. Okay, it worked. I think actually I count this one more frequently in English than I do in Swedish because it's such a small amount of counting. I think I usually say this one in English, don't I? Could be wrong, but... This one I'm pretty sure I almost always do in English. I just want to do this quickly, so I'm just gonna bomb it. It's so much easier with a bomb. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It worked again. All right, if I get it one more time, we're doing runs. Yeah, if I have to count longer or I'm extremely focused, I always count in Swedish. I always do that, but for this one, it's such a slow counting one. I'm wondering if you're thinking of memory corruption, because that used to take place in the same room, and that used to be in Swedish, because you had to count fast and a lot. Because then it'd be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 44, 45, etc. 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 That used to be what I used to do here. Bomb cheating, I'm just doing with bombs because I'm just trying to get through this as quickly as I can because I just want to practice the side hop. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 3 times in a row. Cool. Let's never fail this again. I swear to God, I do not like failing this in a run. It feels so unfair. I should not fail this. All right. Let's go back to runs. Also, let me go downstairs and look at this thing. I need to pee anyway, so it's a good timing. All right. Launch an ad. Oh, yeah, good point. Okay, I'll run a quick ad break while I'm gone to use the bathroom and look at the drawer. And then when we get back, we won't get an ad for the rest of the run. So let's do it. Wait, an ad just started. I literally can't play it. You gotta be kidding. Are you kidding me? An auto ad started? Never mind. Whatever. I did it. It was me. Raptor, you didn't do the right amount. It's supposed to... Okay, BRB. Oh, Chad. Oh, Chad. Oh, Chad. She was using, like, the smallest head ever. And then I was like, no, don't use that one. It barely fits. Grab a bigger one. And she's like, I tried it. It doesn't fit. And I was like, I looked at it and I was like, it will fit. And she was like, no, it won't. So I pulled out and I pulled out the one she was using and I said, look at this. And it was able to move like a quarter of a rotation in place without screwing it. And I'm like, do you see how much wiggle room there is here? And she was like, yes. I put on the big one and I said, do you see how there's no wiggle room anymore? And she was like, yes. And then she was like, and then I was like, look at this. And then I unscrewed it, re-screwed it, unscrewed it, re-screwed it, unscrewed it, re-screwed it. And I was like, do you see? It doesn't spin at all. Yeah, she was using like way too small of one. What is this about? The bit that's on top of a screwdriver for different sized screws when you're building things, screwing things in. What the hell do you think I'm talking about? What do you think I'm talking about? I just went down to look at the dresser. What else could you be talking about? Screwing, pulling out. Chad, I don't mean to be that guy, but y'all need to right now go outside and touch some grass, okay? I'm serious. Touch some grass right now before